The way the studios change. Every time there's a name for a studio that I am in. It's okay.
Yeah?
Now it's Studio Z. Before it was Studio X.
Yeah, you know, NMG, they have money. NMG have money and they keep changing.
Okay.
Alafu, anytime tuna request for changes for studios, they always grant us. I'll see you.
They always give us a new studio.
That's it.
Thank God for NMG, man.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm on this other side with my guests.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, we have a couple in studio. These people have been married 7 years. I have just next to me Pastor Robert Otieno, and next to him is his pastor, Pastor Rachel Nyawera. And they are pastors at the Worship Tabernacle Church in Westlands. And also Rachel is a HR practitioner as well. And so they're here today to tell us about their story. These guys have been through enough, but they are still together. They are the true definition of what 2 Corinthians 13:7 says, and probably we would just have it on the screen once again, kindly. The verse of the day. There it is. 1 Corinthians, 13:7. It says, "Love bears all things. It believes all things. It hopes all things. Endures all things." And so that's what we are talking about today. And so karibuni sana, Pastor Robert and Rachel. It's the R family, fun enough.
They are.
How are you today?
We are good.
Thank you so much for coming to studio.
Thank you too for the opportunity.
I'm excited to have you.
We are glad.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go straight to you people. First of all, I want us to know, how did you guys meet? How did you meet?
Who's gonna start now?
I think I want to hear both sides of the story.
All right.
How we met?
Yes.
Okay. We met in 2008.
Okay.
Yes. Is it?
Yes, 2008.
Yes, after the post-election violence. Yes, I was posted back. I used to work with Farm Concern International. And then I was posted back to Nairobi at the headquarters at Karinal along Westlands. So when I came back to Nairobi, that's when I met Rachel in church.
Okay.
Yes.
So you were not a pastor then?
I wasn't. I'm a food scientist by profession.
Okay.
Just imagine that.
And you find yourself being a pastor. So you met her in church.
I met her in church, yes.
How did you know that she's the one?
Wow. How did I know? First of all, there's something which I can't explain. You know, there's something about love which you can't explain, which you call a feeling.
Yeah.
But then more than that, there are things that I liked about her. I liked her heart, her mind, and I felt that purpose. I felt that sense of purpose in her, though it wasn't that clear then. But then I just had a feeling that God had something in me and in both of us, which He would want us to accomplish together.
Okay.
Yes, so the rest of it is details that you know.
So there's more to that.
Yes.
Okay, Rachel, what's your story?
For me, I met him in church, and like he's saying, we used to do praise and worship together, go together, you know. But just before then, one thing that I really always remember are two instances. When the first one, I saw him sing.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that was the first time I saw him sing. And I was like, I need to tell that guy that he really sang very well.
Okay.
Little did I know that, you know, this guy who really sang very well was later on to be my husband.
Yes.
But I did not get even an opportunity, I think, to tell him.
Okay.
And then I remember we were planning for an activity for young people in church.
Okay.
And he was so helpful, you know, like hands-on. And then in the evening, I just decided to say, okay, thank you for helping me out. I was so green from campus, and I was thinking these things, I don't know so much about organizing events and coordinating, but he was so hands-on and so helpful. So I sent an SMS and I said thank you, and I think I sent to many others. But I remember his response was, I think there's something he put on there, and he said, I'll always be there for you. And I'm like, this guy,
you knew what you wanted.
What do you really mean? You know, and I did not have the mind of he's likely to ever be anything to me.
You didn't even think he would be your spouse.
No, he was a very good friend, by the way, just a good friend. But I thought about it more. You know, what does this mean? I will always be there for you.
So it meant something to you.
It meant something to me.
Okay.
I kept it. I did not delete that message, but I didn't brood over, look at it and keep on, searching it. But I don't know why it had a spark on me.
Okay.
So the rest is just history. And of course, he proposed. I remember during Obama's day, it was also something that I did not expect. So that's how love
Pastor Robert,
blossomed.
you are so scheming.
That was a holiday. You can't, if you are alive
You
then.
have to make sure it's Obama in the country.
No. Obama was
he's
in the
here with
country.
his
He had just
strategies.
won the elections, and then
Oh, okay,
the
had won the
president then
elections.
the
Gave us-
president then
yeah,
gave
the
us a
holiday.
day.
Oh yeah, holiday.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
that was
holiday in
President
Kenya.
So your
Kibaki.
anniversary makes a lot of sense right now. Jajimbo, you think these guys are they're very strategic, eh?
They like grabbing the opportunity.
Yeah. You don't let opportunities go.
Unapewa holiday unakimbia nayo.
Ndio.
Yeah, you're getting tips. You're getting
Yes.
tips.
Oh, great. That's amazing. But now this is 7 years later, and you
Yes.
guys are still married. But along the way, you guys have had bumps. You've had times when things were not so easy. Maybe would you
Yes.
want to tell us about it, Robert?
Yes, of course. One of it, yes, several things that were not easy. First of all, was when we were just planning our wedding. It came to us that we were from different tribes.
Yes.
Initially that wasn't an issue. We were just bubbling in love until we were now to involve other stakeholders, especially now the clans and everybody
the
else.
bigger picture,
The
the
bigger
family.
picture, the family, and then when I introduced the issue at home, and we started having problems because she comes from Kirinyaga and I come from Kisumu.
Yes.
Yes, so and then we were just reeling from the post-election violence.
Yes.
That was in 2008. So that became an issue, but we thank God that we were able to overcome it over time.
How were you able to deal with that? Because I'm imagining you've just come from, we've come from this big thing that happened in the country 2007. And of course there was the issue of tribes and all that.
Yes.
And then here you are from two ethnic backgrounds, and now you want to come together. How was that for you, even for you, Rachel?
For me, I think I come from a background that is a bit open when it comes to, associating with other people, even from other tribes. Yeah, so I did not even fear. And I also have a cousin of mine from my father's side who is married to a Kisi. So I think it wasn't a shocker for them, and from my parents-in-law, I think it's because they had not seen an opportunity, of where a Kikuyu and a Luo are married, and the marriage ends up being a good marriage. They're really very good, by the way, for your information. But I think they were shocked. And we were also coming from a background where he had a cousin who was also getting married to a Kikuyu, and the parents was not so easy about it. Although later on, even after we had gotten married, it was easy for, they came to get married. But now you're imagining all those things, and I think, there was some
The
bit of
tension
caution.
involved.
Yeah, caution, and thinking that this lady will come in, take your money if you've got money,
Oh my God, yeah.
your children, and that's what people think outside there. But for us, I think it was a different thing, of course. My family are a bit open. And also now we discovered even his parents, by the way. I remember mommy saying, sorry, as in just down to earth people. And I think that could have probably contributed to being one pillar in that supports our marriage, because we come from a very, they're God-fearing, and of course from my side they're open to just anything. They will let us be. Yes.
So at least you had forces that were for you, even for your marriage. First,
yes.
so
and maybe maybe to say that we also prayed about it when now we faced that hurdle. And I remember the scripture we were standing with is, the battle belongs to God.
Jesus,
And it was so easy. That was so easy. At least it didn't take more than 5 months before we got a breakthrough. So I thought even praying for things is just instant, like an instant. But later on, of course, we will be telling more of the hurdles. And I think he can continue.
Okay, Robert, you want to build up on that? So the first thing that you actually faced was coming together from different ethnic backgrounds. But again, you overcame it.
Yes,
Number 2, what happened next?
What happened next was that the call to pastoral work came with a lot of changes and a lot of hurdles, because I was a project manager at Farm Concern, and when the call came for me to get into pastoral work full time, that was quite crazy. A lot of things changed. Number one was that in ministry or pastoral work, them, you know, there was not much salary and money and all that. So I'd actually had to quit my job to join ministry, and it was at the very, actually it was the year we were doing our wedding, 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when the shift happened to me. So I remember breaking the news to her and telling her what I was feeling. And so it was a little ish. So what will happen to us when we get married? What will we eat? How will we survive?
Of course, the normal concerns.
The normal concern. And we say, okay, God will see us through. So we eventually did that. I joined pastoral work, and yes, true, there were certain changes, financial stress that came with it.
Of course, because of the change.
Because of the change, we had to change our lifestyle. A lot of gifts that she was used to.
They had to be limited at least. Yeah. Rachel, how was this for you?
Alright,
You were not married, you were planning to get married, and then he comes and gives you the news. How was this for you?
At first, by then, let me tell you, when you're in love, you know, everything looks possible.
Okay.
But then when you're in it, you discover, hey, it's a bit hard.
The impact came later.
Yes, yes. But then when he told me that he feels called,
Yeah.
you know, he feels called to serve God, I was thinking, well, it's okay, even if I knew I would not be expecting it to be like pap now and, you know, now and now. I knew somehow later, probably it would be later on, God calling him after 10 years in our marriage, after, you know, we've amassed a lot of wealth and all that, yeah. But when it came too soon, I was even wondering later on, did I make the right decision, you know? But again, of course, when you look at the things of God, you know, working for Jesus and working for man or corporate is totally different, yeah? But again, there's that eternal reward and all that. So you still have hope in God more, because even where we work, it's not like it's a guarantee, yeah? But our guarantee for sure can be with Jesus. Whether you have money or whether you don't have money, whether you have a pay slip, you have a business that is bringing you a lot of money, you know, the main hope, and even as we work, we say we do it as unto the Lord.
As unto the Lord,
Because after everything is said and done, it's the Lord that matters. And it's our eternal life that matters. So for me, it wasn't easy. But of course, you know, you have to adjust to many things. You know, this is not it. I'm sure if you ask many families, they would tell you there are many things they're adjusting to, yeah? So whatever comes our way, we learn how to adjust. So for me, we're moving on and we're serving the Lord happily.
So for you, it was really just staying on the call and also being positive.
Yes.
And believing in him, knowing that he's doing the work of God. I like what you said, because we're not guaranteed of what we are doing. Even you being in the corporate industry,
Exactly.
it's doing as unto the Lord. I
Very
like
true.
where this is going. I hope people at home are taking notes, because man, this is huge. So Robert,
Yes.
you are here, you've not even gotten married, and then all these changes have to happen. So fast forward, you've gotten married.
Yes.
Here you are now settling down to start family. Tell me about that.
Yes, well, we started a family, and we met one major hurdle that came our way, and that was you know, like any other young family, you're expecting, we had our plan.
Okay.
Our plan for life, and we planned how many children, how our life will take off, both marriage, ministry, balancing together with finance and all that. And then one thing that did not work according to our plan was the issue of children.
Okay.
Because first year into the marriage, okay, that was according to plan. We wanted to have children.
Okay.
But then by the second year, at this time we were now ready. Yes, so second year, then there was none, and we're thinking, okay, God's time. But then also hoping, knowing that, man, okay, God's time, God is reasonable enough.
To know that we want children, we are ready now.
I know that.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, so second year, third year, and the story is, we are, and the questions are coming. Everyone is asking, what's up? All our peers, the groups that we got married together with, children, and For us, it dawned on us that we are not having children, and it's an issue. At first, we thought it wasn't an issue.
Okay.
We can sort it ourselves.
Yeah.
Actually, we were quite fine. But then over time, we discover that, hey, guys are not fine. People are not asking us questions. And so into the 4th year, and it's down to us that we actually, we thought it came clear that there's something that is not working well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so that was a major one for us, and we had to start looking for help. And then you see these are some of the things you don't know where to get help from, because it also portrays you in a weakness.
Okay.
You know, it's a sign of weakness. So you don't want to
go about
telling everybody, so you are quiet.
Yes.
And that has been a good journey and a good lesson for us.
Okay.
Yes.
Rachel, your side?
Well, it was a shock.
Yeah.
And, you know, from the word go, even before we got married, we had names for our children.
Okay.
Yeah,
How many
that's
children
And
do
the
you
names
want
are
to have?
still there.
How many do you want to
We
have?
only had names for 2 children.
Okay.
Yeah, but of course, for me, I love children big time, yeah?
Okay. You don't mind 10?
I don't mind 7. Actually, I kept on saying that when I get married, I
Did you
want to
hear
get
that?
7
She
children.
doesn't mind 7.
Okay.
And then I keep on wondering, God, are you asleep? You know, that was my dream ever since I was, young and all that. But maybe it was an overambitious dream. So we had names for children. So you can, from this, you can clearly see that we had expected that, of course, in our second year in marriage, because we wanted to enjoy honeymoon and enjoy each other the first year. So we really wanted to, have children.
So how did
Yeah.
you find out? Because I want us to take a short break, but before that, how did you find out, Rachel?
So in our
that you
third
could-
year,
yeah.
we went for a checkup. We thought, I think we need to, see a doctor, a gynae, and then find out what's the issue, yeah? So that, again, even as we proceed, we know what's happening, yeah? So we were ready for anything, by the way, we just said, whichever the case. But I remember praying and telling God, please let it be me and not him, you know? So when whoever broke the news to me and told me, actually, but your husband, I felt so bad. It was such in a bad way, yeah, because I got the results from the lab, and then of course we had to take to a gynae, and then of course he took us through and told us, what to expect and all that. It wasn't really easy. It was heartbreaking, and that's how we found out. Apparently.
Okay. So you went to get a checkup, and then
Yes.
the news was broken to you.
Yes.
Okay, viewers, this is the story of Pastor Robert and Rachel, and they're telling us about what has happened and of course how they've stood together. And when we come back, they'll be telling us about this big hurdle that they faced and how they've been able to actually go through it and how they are now. So do not touch that dial.
Nikumbushe wema wako nisije laumu. That's Angel Bernard from Tanzania. It's a very deep song, unajua. Ni kama vitu tunasema manze. Sasa ile vitu ziku happening, things happening, nikumbushe wema wako. Alafu today we are talking about for better for worse. Now what happens? Mungu amekupatia pesa. Unamwambia kwanza kaa kando. Alafu sasa ile umesota ndio mko very tight. You're looking for him, you're very tight. And the same case applies to relationship. Unajua mpenzi wako sasa ile hana kitu, sasa ile he can't do anything, sasa ile he can't afford anything. Do you run away? Today is a deep topic, and we have Grace from the other side akituongelesha pale na panelist wakitufafanulia haya mambo, sio? Asante sana.
You look serious. Hey.
Yeah, I'm serious.
For once.
Yeah, I'm just touched,
This is a deep topic for you, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to see some of the feedback that has been coming in from Twitter,
Yeah.
Facebook, and I see unataka kusomea hapo?
Yeah, inasema hivi, their marriage, actually the panelists in the studio,
Yeah.
their marriage is a true testament that love goes beyond tribal lanes. And that's true.
Yeah.
Hiyo imeweza kutuchallenge pale, and of course, wow, Rachel, my HR, I think hapo kuna mtu, wewe ni mdosi wake. You see, TV is powerful. TV is powerful. God hears prayers and he will show up sooner than expected.
Awesome, amen.
That's Inonda, and then tuko na Bows ama Bows namwona pale anasema love the show, encouraging testimony #crossover101. Alafu DJ Jewel Kenya anasema hivi, kuvumiliana, appreciate each other at all times, support and most important, pray constantly. Yeah, that's deep,
Kabisa.
sindio?
That's awesome.
Asante sana. Alafu tuko na msee ametoka Dagoretti pale anaitwa Dennis, anasema I'm tuning from Dagoretti. You guys looking great. Grace Ekirapa.
Yeah.
I think Dennis hapo ni kama ameona uko smart. Asante sana. Dennis,
so
asante.
much.
Asante kwa
Asante
kujiongea Dennis, asante. Yeah, nikumbushe
asante
wema
kwa
wako. Yeah.
Maraya, nyenyekea Mungu akutumie.
Asante sana. Mimi ni chombo tu, mimi ni punda tu wa Yesu. Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for the feedback. Remember, we'll be sampling more of your feedback. And again, we have a surprise for you. We're going to be giving out tickets for the event that is coming up on the 30th, and that is Ada coming into Kenya. We'll be telling you more about that. And so, if you want a ticket, please keep tabs. Go to our social media platform. Shinda hapo. We might be posting something, and you might want to interact with us, and then you'll be getting a ticket. Yeah, this hour I'm told we're giving out 3 tickets, so please go to the social media platforms, the different ones that we have, and get to see how you can get to be a winner of a ticket to the event. And so I'm going to go back to my panel. I have Robert and Rachel in studio, a lovely couple, as you can hear the testimonies that they're giving us, and it's still not yet done. And so I'm going to go back to them without wasting more time. So Rachel, we were on you. Yes. You were telling us about how you went to the hospital, and then you were praying. First of all, that part of you were praying, you were just wishing it's you and not him. Why would you do that?
I just don't understand, by the way, because
Yeah.
I can't clearly explain.
Yeah.
But for me, I just felt like, I don't know whether it's love or what, because I really would not want to see my hubby suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's why I was thinking now he will feel like he's not a man enough or
Yeah.
something. And you know the way African society we associate being man enough with, you know how many children you're able to bear,
Yes, yes.
how many livestock probably you have. But I was just looking at a scenario where he will not really feel so demotivated, because I know him as an energetic person and all that. So I was saying,
So
oh
you
my
were
God,
worried
I
for
don't want,
him.
yes, I was really, really worried for him. I don't even know why. By the way, he worries for himself, and as in, rarely would you see him even brooding over issues. So I don't know why. For me, I don't understand why, but that was my feeling. That was my feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just shows that I think for me it just shows you love him, you know, coming from a place where you're able
No
to
doubt.
you're able to even stand for him. You want to take up the pain for
Yes,
him and not
yes,
necessarily allow
yes,
him to go
I
through
do.
it. But now you went to hospital, you got the news, and it happened to be him. How was it for you now?
Like I said, it wasn't easy. And I was wondering, because I'm the one who went to pick the results, and I don't remember where he was. I think he was just somewhere buying something. Yeah, caught up. So I decided, because I'm here early, let me just go and pick, so that by the time he comes now, we will be going to the gynae. We don't have to go to the lab together.
Yeah.
So when now I was wondering, how do I break the news?
Yeah.
Because I don't want him to go and faint in there, you know. So,
Okay.
but I was able to handle it. And of course, there was some tense moment. I don't remember what I told him, but of course I did. And then we went in. And I think he wasn't so worried. Yeah, he wasn't so worried. I didn't see the face of worry in him.
Okay. What would you attest that to? Being in a place where you're calm, what would you say was going on in you, inside of you?
She was worried about me.
Yeah.
I think I was also worried about her.
Oh, okay. So it was a two-way thing. What were you thinking?
Huh?
What were you thinking when you were worrying about her? What are some of the thoughts you had in your mind?
Will she be strong enough to face up that reality? Yeah? Yes, and personally, there's a way I knew that life will take any turn, but then the fact that God is in charge, that has always kept me calm.
Okay.
Yes, and also, so within me there was some peace, but I was a little worried about her. But then, unfortunately, she was also getting worried about me. But personally, I've always known that God manifests His strength in weakness.
In the weaknesses that we have.
Yes, and whatever looks like a weakness is usually an opportunity for God to display His power and strength.
I like that.
And that has always sunk in me. And then a lot of what could have caused us worry was not even about ourselves, but about people. People, people, what they say, what they think, or what I think they think. At times it can be quite dealing with the people. And dealing with the public, and then the fact that we're already at a position because we were already pastors.
So you were in places of leadership.
Of leadership, yes. So public figures in a way, and so how will people take that? How will we answer people? Before we've been telling people we are waiting on God, but then with this reality now, will we still be waiting on God with a reality from a doctor? Yes, and those were some of the things, but the Lord worked on us over time. I must agree that it wasn't easy, though the issues we were ready for, but when the time came, it was a moment bomb at that particular time, because we have to, okay, it's real now. The doctor says we can't get children. Then the other things that I am the problem. So how do we face that? How do we tell people? And for a while it cost us a little anxiety, but then we stabilized over time.
Okay.
And we moved on. Yes.
What would you say, Rachel, was happening with you? Imagining his fear, you are now a pastor. You're a pastor, you're a pastor's wife. You have people, the congregation, probably you were leading. What was also going on with you, realizing that, these people are looking up to me and the expectations they have?
I know, yeah, and the push and questions coming in, I was scared. I would say I was scared. I could be smiling during the day and I go back to the house and I cry myself to sleep. But there I used to cry. I think the tears now have somehow dried off.
Okay.
Yeah, but I used to cry. And I used to wonder and ask God, why me? But then I was so alert. Whenever I could ask God, why me? Why us? Then I could hear a voice telling me, as in, if I'm asking God, why us, why me? Who would I expect it to be,
then?
Yeah, and probably with time we've come to learn that, God cannot give a burden that you're not able to handle. So every moment, you pray when when you're leaving the house and tell God, give me grace to face people. I think because every day you remember you don't have a child, and especially during our 3rd and 4th year in marriage. Right now we have overcome, there's so many other things, and every other time you have to explain, we mentor young people, we interact with people.
So you almost have like substitutes of what you're doing and not the children that you bear.
Exactly. We have
you needed to explain yourself.
Yeah, you have to explain when people ask you, do you have children? Where are your children? They come to your house and they expect to see children, and then of course you have to tell them you're waiting on God, And it wasn't an easy thing, It wasn't an easy thing, but of course God somehow gives you strength to be able to handle. So we could handle it well. And like I'm telling you, I think there were many crying moments. I remember even, is it Jacob who asked Rachel, am I God? Am I don't know what, am I what to,
not worth more than
yes,
sons?
yes, but he was also wondering, how can I give children? It's God who gives children, So I remember I only saw him broke one day, and I think it's because I had the weight, because he was wondering now, what does he do to me? Because I was really, really heartbroken. At some instances, we go visit our friends, and baby showers, and all that, and you're wondering, okay, fine, when will yours be? But with time, by the way, we go happily, as in we have somehow overcome. But of course, it wasn't an easy mountain to climb, It was so hard. If I said that it was easy, let me tell you, I would be lying. Yeah. Of course. But we have overcome, through and through. I love children. I teach Sunday school, and I'm wondering, okay, fine, how do you even teach children when you cannot even teach yours? But now we've come to discover this is it, as in for the time that we're going to wait for for God on this. You know, whether it takes 10 years, how many years or whatever, we are in it together.
Okay, we're almost winding up, but I want you to tell me some of the pointers. In a normal society, people expect, if it's a man, and I told you earlier, if it's the woman with the issue, the man will be asked, why are you not marrying another woman?
Yes, yes.
And now with you, why you not? Why didn't you move? You know, people will be like, why are you
Didn't
still
I
with
move on?
him? Yeah, why didn't you move on? But what would you say held you and or has made you to stay through this all this that's happening?
I also don't know. I also don't know. But if I would move, where would I be moving to?
Yeah.
Would I be moving into the hands of another man, or would I be moving back to my mom's house? You know, where would I be moving to, or would I be moving out to stay on my own? Yeah. For me, I think the key things are that I did not marry an ATM so that when money is over, now I can move on. I did not marry, you know, a car when it gets an accident, that's done with. You know, I married my best friend. As in, for me, it's not even the vows that we said for better for us, but because we made that commitment in front of people and before God, it wasn't just a commitment for the sake. Yeah, so I married my best friend. He is my best friend, he is my confidant, so I can just imagine myself walking away. You know, there's so many other things, and I like one thing that he normally says, that you marry a partner who will help you discover your purpose. So together we have discovered our purposes. I would be walking away from my purpose, whatever the course, yeah? So whatever the road, the journey we have to travel together as friends, we have to travel together. You know, so for me, I think friendship first. And then just like your scripture for today is saying, when you read beyond, you know, love is never selfish. You know, it's not self-seeking. Yeah, I would be self-seeking, I would be selfish if I was to say that I'm walking away in pursuit of what? Of children. You know, not really. He's my best friend, and that's why for me I have stuck with him.
So you have what you're holding on to and you don't want to live without?
I don't, I don't want to live without that. And above all, I'm an example, and I'm an ambassador of Christ. So my life, whether in pain, my life, whether in joy, happiness, or through and all that, it must reflect who Christ is.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's
so
powerful.
if I've got to stick to the pain and still, you know, win the, you know, the testimony, the people that are looking up to me, and show them the way, you know, the way to life.
Okay.
If that's all I have got to do, we saw that from even the disciples. They stuck to a course. If this is my course, if this is my cross, for the sake of Christ, imagine I am not looking back. Because I know at the end of it all, there's that one question. I will be answerable to Jesus. Imagine, as much as I see people surrounding me, I will be so answerable to Jesus. Did I do it, you know, the right way, or did I
fail?
just, did I fail, or did I win the race? You know, for me, I want to win the race.
Thank you, Rachel. We're about to, actually, I want us to wind up in like a minute, but final, what is your final word, Pastor Robert, in 1 second?
Love is risky. That's why you've written there, for better, for worse. You don't go for it for the better. You expect the better, but you be ready for the worst.
That's powerful.
Love is a risk. And following Christ is also risky.
Yes.
And our generation must learn and must grow up to take risks. And it's called the art of commitment. Whatever you start to do, do it. Go full blast.
Okay.
Whatever turns out.
Don't be.
Yes, whenever we make vows, that's why for us in our church, when we do vows, we tell them, the young couples, it's always for in sickness, in health or in sickness. There's a couple that had wanted us to wipe out the bad part, because they believe that what you say is what you attract, you know those type of teachings. Then we tell them, no, life is so real. And scripture, it is in scripture that when you follow Christ, and if you are committed to God, and when you are committed in love in marriage, it's risky. You take it and you follow it.
Even when you're loving God, you're risking your life.
Oh, it's risks. And anything else is a risk.
Okay.
Thank you
so much. I feel like we needed more time, but I'm going to wind up this segment for now. But thank you so much for coming to studio and telling us your story, accepting to be vulnerable in front of national TV. And you know what? It's a testimony, and I believe somebody out there has learned something. So thank you so much.
Thank you.